Football fans were left stunned and furious this weekend after two controversial VAR decisions overshadowed Aston Villa's 4-1 defeat against Crystal Palace. Jacob Ramsey and Morgan Rogers both saw their goals disallowed for marginal offside calls, sparking outrage across the football community. Even Alan Shearer, a neutral in this fixture, voiced his frustration, claiming Villa was cheated by the contentious decisions. The controversial offside calls. The first incident came in the 23rd minute when Jacob Ramsey broke the deadlock with a brilliant finish. The crowd erupted, but joy quickly turned to disbelief as VAR intervened. After an agonizingly long review, the goal was ruled out for the narrowest of offsides, with Ramsey's toe allegedly ahead of the last defender. Later in the second half, Morgan Rogers thought he had equalized with a sublime header into the top corner. Once again, VAR stepped in. Once again, the goal was disallowed. This time, the decision was based on a supposed offside in the build-up, another marginal call that left fans and pundits shaking their heads. Alan Shearer's reaction. Match of the day pundit and Premier League legend Alan Shearer didn't hold back in his criticism of the officiating. After the game, Shearer said, "I'm not an Aston Villa fan, but Aston Villa was cheated today. These VAR decisions are ruining the game. Ramsey and Rogers' goals should have stood. We're talking about millimeters here, and it's a disgrace that these calls are deciding games." Shearer went on to emphasize the need for reform in how offsides are judged. The spirit of the offside rule isn't to deny goals like this. These decisions should favor the attacking team. Ramsey's toe being offside. Come on, that's not what football is about. The bigger problem with VAR. The controversy surrounding Aston Villa's disallowed goals is just the latest in a series of high-profile VAR blunders that have plagued the Premier League this season. Critics argue that the technology, while introduced to eliminate clear and obvious errors, has become overly pedantic, with decisions often coming down to microscopic margins. Fans across social media echoed Shearer's sentiment, calling the decisions a disgrace, and accusing VAR of ruining the game. Aston Villa supporters were understandably livid, while even neutral fans expressed sympathy for the Midlands club. The impact on Aston Villa. The disallowed goals significantly impacted the flow of the game. Had Ramsey's opener stood, Villa would have taken an early lead, potentially changing the dynamic of the match. Instead, Palace capitalized on the controversy, eventually running out 4-1 winners. Unai Emery, Aston Villa's manager, was measured in his post-match comments but made his feelings clear. "I don't want to talk about VAR, but these decisions hurt us today. We deserved more from this game. Football fans demand change." This match has reignited the debate over VAR and its implementation in the Premier League. Many are calling for changes to the offside rule, suggesting that decisions should favor the attacking team in cases of marginal calls. Others have proposed introducing a time limit for reviews to avoid overly lengthy interruptions that disrupt the flow of the game. Conclusion. While Crystal Palace enjoyed a convincing 4-1 victory on paper, the game will be remembered for the VAR controversy that denied Aston Villa two legitimate goals. Alan Shearer's passionate defense of Villa has added weight to calls for reform, as fans, players, and pundits alike demand a fairer and more consistent approach to officiating. As the debate rages on, one thing is clear: VAR's current implementation is far from perfect, and moments like these threaten to overshadow the beautiful game. Football deserves better. Aston Villa deserved better. And as Shearer said, "I'm not an Aston Villa fan, but they were cheated today."